Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dietrich and today I'm going to try to help you answer the age-old question. Should you buy a Honda Accord Hybrid or a Hyundai Sonata Hybrid? These are two excellent and modern mid-sized hybrid sedans. The Hyundai Sonata was just updated for the 2025 model year, and the Honda Accord was fully redesigned in 2023. I have driven and reviewed both of these cars. I have been in the car business for 18 years, and what I am about to give you is my quote-unquote expert opinion, so you can take it for what it's worth. You only get one chance for a first impression, so we're going to start with styling. The new Accord is a classic IGN 7 out of 10 when it comes to looks. I think the car looks fine overall, with my one major complaint being its ungainly overhangs that give it some odd proportions. Hyundai has updated the styling on the new Sonata for 2025 and made it probably the best looking mid-sized mainstream sedan. I absolutely love the front and rear light bars on the new Sonata at night, and I also really like the 17-inch Eco spoke wheels on the SEL hybrid model that I drove. The point for styling goes to the Hyundai. Next, we will move on to hybrid powertrains. Both cars have 2-liter gasoline engines with supplementary electric motors and battery packs. Honda quotes 204 total horsepower for the Accord. Hyundai quotes 192 total horsepower for the Sonata. When it comes to fuel economy, Hyundai claims 51 miles per gallon on the highway and 44 miles per gallon in the city, while the Honda puts it the other way around with 51 miles per gallon city and 44 on the highway. There was a huge difference in my fuel economy testing, which I run purely on the highway. I saw 47.3 miles per gallon from an Accord Sport L Hybrid and 42.2 miles per gallon from a Sonata SEL Hybrid. It is worth noting that both cars I tested were fresh units with about 300 miles on them, and clearly the Honda did much better. I chalk this up to the transmissions in these cars. The Honda uses an eCVT and Hyundai uses a 6-speed automatic in their car. That means that during my highway fuel economy run, when the gasoline engine was powering the car, the Hyundai's engine was pulling higher RPMs than the Honda was. The Hyundai's powertrain is also not as smooth or refined as the Honda's is, and the Accord gets an easy point here. When it comes to practicality, I was able to fit my 6-foot 5-inch frame behind myself in both cars. The 2025 Sonata Hybrid SEL I tested had air vents and USB charging ports for the backseat passengers, and Honda has made these items standard on the Accord for the 2025 model year as well. The Honda has about 1 more cubic feet of trunk space than the Hyundai does, but that's not enough to tip the scales for me, as both cars have very roomy trunks. 1 point for each vehicle here. When it comes to features, I tested an SEL Hybrid Sonata and a Sport L Hybrid Accord, which are not apples to apples because the Honda costs about $4,000 more than the Hyundai when comparing these trim levels. Strictly from a feature standpoint, you don't lose too much for that money. Both cars have large touchscreens with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging, power front driver and passenger seats, dual zone automatic climate control, and heated front seats. The Honda gives you leather seating, a moonroof, and an auto-dimming interior mirror, but the Hyundai has a couple little extras too, like HD radio and of course sounds of nature, so you can turn your car into a potentially more relaxing environment. I think strictly from a feature standpoint, the Accord doesn't quite measure up to its price gap, so I'm going to give the point here to the Hyundai. Safety features are relatively well matched. The Accord has Honda Sensing and the Sonata has what Hyundai calls Smart Sense. Both cars give you forward collision alert, emergency braking, lane departure warning and mitigation, blind spot monitoring, and full speed adaptive cruise control. There are a couple of subtle differences. The Accord has road sign recognition and the Sonata has safe exit warning to try to stop you from getting out of the car into oncoming traffic, but they're close enough that I will award 1 point to both cars for safety. I'm going to wrap up this comparison with value. Since I'm comparing the two cars I reviewed, it may seem obvious to give this point to the Hyundai since it looks better, has good features, and is just as practical, and it's less expensive. However, in my estimation, the Honda makes up the gap in price with some significant additional features like leather seats and a moonroof, and most of all, its more sophisticated and efficient powertrain. People on the internet love to hate on CVTs, but I'm here to tell you the Sonata Hybrid would be a better car with one. Add in Honda's slightly stronger reputation for reliability and resale value, and I'm giving the point for value to the Accord. So after all that, the final tally is 4 points for the Sonata and 4 points for the Accord, making this a tie? In my mind, this actually makes sense since I'm the decider here and I actually liked both of these cars quite a bit, but the styling of the Accord and the powertrain of the Sonata stopped me from loving either one of them. If you were my friend or family member and you were between buying one of these two cars, I would honestly tell you to take a hard look at the Sonata with a regular gasoline engine. You would either get similar equipment and save a couple $1,000s to spend on gasoline, or you would pay the same money and get more features, or you could pay more money and get the beastly Sonata N and have a lot of fun while you're driving. But if you've got your heart set on a hybrid, you really can't go wrong with either of these imperfect but still very good cars. I guess just buy the one from the salesperson who is nicer to you. Please let me know in the comments if you agree with my assessment. Please like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please have a great day. Bye-bye.